Hi kids, this is Leanne with Happy Mail by Leanne. Today I'll be showing you how I made this card, or one similar to it. It uses the touched My Heart stamp set from Stampin' Up. Sorry, my camera's bouncing a little bit. Touched My Heart stamp set. This is a Hostess set, and so they don't make it anymore. But I love this card, and you can use any image here that you like. I just alcohol inked this image, and it does have some shimmer spray on it. I don't know if the camera is picking that up, but yeah. So here we go. Let me show you what we used. Here's 5.5 by 8.5. That will be your card base. Then you'll need a 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 of that same color. And then a 5 1/4 by 4 in a contrasting color, and a 3.5 by 3.5 in a contrasting color. These contrasting colors, I normally would do white, but they're gray. It's scrap paper. When my husband and I got married, I made cute little cookbooks. I'll have to show you sometime. I made cute little cookbooks with my recipes that I have fed my family for years in. And this one particular recipe, as you can see, printed cricket on the paper when I took it to Staples. So, and it was almost a whole ream of paper. So I just use it in my card making now. Hopefully that's giving you enough time to write down what you need. It's a pretty simple card. It's very straightforward and easy. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to stamp the image. And I used I don't know what this tool is called. I think it's called the Stamp-O-Majig. But you put your paper in, and you ink up your stamp, and you just close it. And the reason I used this is because it stamps the image in the exact same spot every time, and I want to stamp this image more than once so that I get a really good dark impression. I'm using the Memento Tuxedo Black. So, see, if you look close, you can see that it's a good impression, but it's not very dark. Press that down. And voila, we have a nice image. Let me clean that off. I don't like to leave ink on my stamps because it stains them and can break down the stamp itself, you know, and ruin the stamp long term after time. Pardon me. So the next step is to color this puppy in. And I'm using, for the red, because I'm making this card in red, Stampin' Blends, alcohol ink markers, and an off-brand alcohol ink marker, because I don't have green in the Stampin' Blends. Stampin' Blends is a Stampin' Up blending alcohol ink marker. It has a brush tip and a bullet tip. And sorry folks for the movement, my camera is about to fall. So it has a brush tip and a bullet tip. When you are blending something like this, you want to start with the lightest color that you have. That way, when you get that gradient look, it's well, let me just show you. So I'll talk to you about something else while I'm coloring this in. So those of you that know me know that I've been battling cancer for the last year and a half. And it made me unable to work. I'm physically disabled now. And still pretty ill. You know, the cancer's gone, but because I have a couple of genetic issues, like the BRCA2 gene, which is a genetic precursor, not precursor, but it's a genetic marker that indicates that I'm at high risk for breast cancer. So I'm being followed by a breast specialist, and I have testing every 6 months to make sure that there's no abnormalities in my breast. And then I'm also taking a medication called Lynparza that is supposed to keep my cancer at bay from reoccurring. It actually takes my reoccurrence rate probability from 65% down to 40, which might not sound like a lot, but 40% is a much better risk than 50% or 65%. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shade where I want this darker. Just to give it some dimension and depth. Now, if you look close, you might not be able to see, but if you look close, there's a harsh line that goes through that since I did that. So I'm going to take my light color again and just go over the whole thing to blend it in. That's why it's called a blender brush, because you blend with it. So back to my cancer story. Because my cancer made me unable to do the work that I was doing before, which was physical in nature, I actually prayed about what to do and pondered it and really thought about it, and it came to me, and I believe it was a God thing. It came to me that I should now see how that's blended. You know, you can see the dark, but it's not a harsh line. It goes dark to light. And I'm going to do the same thing with my leaves. So anyway, I prayed about it and felt very strongly that I should start this card making business. I've been making cards since 1990-ish, maybe 92 or 93. But since the early 90s, I've been making cards. I was introduced to Stampin' Up by a girlfriend, and that's the company that I started purchasing materials from. I like Stampin' Up's products. I especially like their paper and inks line because they're perfect matches, and I don't have to ever guess. You know, is this pink gonna match the pink ink I want to use? So that's why I like Stampin' Up. But I haven't been very proactive with my business, and I need to. I'm on disability now, and I need to bring in a little extra income. And so, you know, card making is something I can do because I can sit down to do it. I can do it for a little while and then get up or go lay down. And, you know, it's pretty much a hobby at this point because I don't have many sales. I tried for years to have an Etsy shop, and that was a big fail. I ended up spending far more money on on listings than on having listings than I ever sold. In fact, I only ever sold one $10 card on Etsy. So that's why when I felt inspired to make cards again for sale, I opened up my website, happymailbyleanne.com, and I'll link that in the description box below. So if you want to go take a look at what I've got, you can look. This is a very simple card compared to what I normally do. Okay, all that coloring is done. I'm going to show you the coloring. I realized that I do it upside down. The next thing that I did was I took this sheer shimmer craft spray in Sparkle. I got it off Amazon. It's just, you can see the shimmer in it. I got it off Amazon. So I sprayed both pieces of cardstock that were gray right over my heart. I forgot to write on my heart. I like to use this little white gel pen to do some detailing on the heart. It just makes it come to life. It gives it some. It just makes it come to life. So you can see the difference between the before the white and after the white. So anyway, I sprayed sparkle spray on these, and they dried. Now sometimes when you spray sparkle spray on cardstock, it curls and bends. So in that case, you just straighten it out, you know, as best you can with your hands until it's nice and straight. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put this card together now. The first thing I need to do is I need to score my card base, because I did not previously do that. So since it's 8.5 inches long, I need to score it at 4 1/4. And I like to score both sides of the paper. I think it makes it easier to fold. That's all there is to it. This is a scoreboard from I don't know who made this scoreboard. Let's see if there's a I don't know, but you can find it. So it folds in half. It folds in half and unfolds. And the cool thing about this is it's a cutter too. So when you score, I didn't know this about it. Oh, We Are is the brand, but you can flip this and it's flat for cutting, because this is the cutting blade here. And then when you flip it over, if you want to score, it's not flat. There's this little lip here that you push your paper against so that you get a nice straight line. I did not I did not know about that the first probably month that I was using this. Okay, so a simple way to make sure you get your corners lined up is to put your folded edge on the table or up against something and just line those corners up with your fingers and hold it, pinch it, lay it down without unpinching it, and smooth your fingers across. And that will give you just about every time a perfect card without the corners being all askew from each other. So I don't know if you can see that. So now I'm going to glue, I like my trusty ATG gun, I'm going to glue the first layer down on that card base. I don't know if I ever finished telling you my story about my cancer, but I am in remission now. I'm just getting treatment because of the reoccurrence rate. I see my oncologist today, actually, my GYN oncologist. So I'm just making sure that this is centered before I put it down. It's not perfect. Mine are never perfect. So, and that's okay. It's a handmade card. It doesn't need to be perfect. And then we're going to put this little guy on the okay, here we go. And the way how I center it is I line it up along this way, and then I move it back and forth this way until I have a perfect square. Like my corners are lined up perfectly, and then I just push down on it with my finger and spread it over, and it gets nearly perfect every time. Now, time to glue that to the card base. And I like to do this upside down. So I want my card to open this way, so this is the top of the card. So I do this very same thing. I line up this line here with the top of whatever I'm attaching it to, and make sure that, see, that's a little bit off. Make sure that it's about the same on either side as it is from this. Put my finger down on it, and then just lay it down. And there you have, it's not perfect, it's a little bit crooked, but it's a handmade card, so it's okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these Zots. See, I paid $4.99 for a box of 300 at Hobby Lobby. I'm going to take the Zots, and I'm going to take my little black bow that I previously made, and I'm going to line up the bottom of the bow with the bottom of one of these Zots, just like that. And then when I pull it off, there'll be a little bit of an overhang right here. I'm just going to fold it over on itself. Oh, it's sticking to me. And then center it down here on the center. And there's my card. Now to finish my card off, I need to sign it, which is customary, signing it. So I bought a stamp that says Happy Mail by Leanne. happymailbyleanne.com is what it says on there. And I just make sure there's a good image. Then I have this created by Stamp from Stampin' Up. They have an angel policy, I think is what it's called, that you have to give them credit for the image that you used, or for the paper that you used, or any of their supplies that you used when you use Stampin' Up products to resell cards. And so I just used this little created by Stamp. It came in and if you look for angel policy stamps on their website, it'll show you the different stamps you can do. Oh, that's a little crooked. That's okay. So it says created by handmade Happy Mail, happymailbyleanne.com. That's my signature for this card, so that people know who made it, which is very customary. It's not my ego. It's customary. So here's the two cards side by side. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be making more videos. They won't always be tutorials. They'll just be my process. But hopefully you enjoy them. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. and click the subscribe button and the bell so that you get notifications when I make videos. Alright, thanks, love you, have a great day.